It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Imagine you're a month away from your wedding date and your brother just says, hey, my son needs to be the ring bearer. By the way, you had no plans on a ring bearer or a flower girl. Do you give in or do you dig in to some of this family drama? That's coming up in the podcast in a couple of seconds. Let's go.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! All right, listener bingo works this way. The first person through is going to get the bingo, but you have to fit one of the following two criteria. Kat's looking for somebody to call quick if you're somebody listening who
was just really bad in school. Like you never did well with your grades at all, this little boy. This is a scam, by the way. So if any child calls you, odds of you being recorded and put on the internet are pretty good. So he's trying to test his grandfather to see if he'll help him out.
Can you do me a favor?
What you need, buddy?
Can you, I made a bad grade on this test. If my mom sees it and I make her sign it, then she'll get ground me from my PlayStation.
I don't think one bad grade deserves that. We're going to plan. I'm going to head over to your house. I'm going to pull up on the side of the road in front of your house, and I'm going to beat my horn one time. If your mom's there, tell her that you left a basketball or a glove outside. Bring the note with you, and I'll sign it. And then you put it back in your pocket and get it back into your house.
This guy's the best grandpa ever.
What a hero. So you just never, obviously this kid is just joking, but you just never did well in school. Just never got A's or B's. It's always like subpar or
But
terrible.
you're doing great.
But you're doing great.
I'm looking for anyone listening who just made a giant purchase. This could be a home. This could be like a rental property, whatever the deal was. But it was one of those where you really had to get your ducks in a row. You had to plan it out. Maybe you had to take out a giant loan, whatever the deal was. Maybe it's a new business. Like you just purchased a business, but you made a really, really big purchase lately. If either of these criteria fit, start calling now, okay?
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! Okay, if either of these fit, call now, and we want to get your story. Maybe you're somebody listening who
never did well in school. You just didn't apply yourself. Your grades were not good. You were never on like a dean's list or anything.
I'm on the hunt this morning for anyone listening who has just recently made a huge purchase. Like, I mean, it was planning. It was a lot of talks. You probably drew the line down the piece of paper and you did the pros and the cons and stuff like that. And Jessica, you're going to get the bingo this morning. You're first through. Which one do you fit?
You get the bingo, JJ.
Yay, let's go.
So-
What was the big purchase? What was a monster buy for you?
I bought a house at 24 years old, and it took me 3 years to plan.
Wow.
Okay, so tell us about the house. Are you living there alone?
Yeah. I don't really like answering that, but yeah.
Well, we don't know where it's at.
Yeah, well, because we're going
Yeah, I
to
know.
rob you. No, I was just like, please tell everybody your address and the combination to your door.
So you're one of those independent girls that are you doing your own like DIY projects? You're fixing it up, or was this a turnkey? What you saved for?
Well, I have been calling a couple companies to kind of remodel it
Sure.
and stuff like that, and been doing a couple of fixings in here and that.
Oh.
But for the most part, the inside is remodeled really nicely. The outside of it looks pretty rough, so the outside jobs are kind of hard to do independently.
Yeah.
So at 24, though, you're a homeowner, and are you at the point where you're thinking this is probably won't be my forever home? I'll fix it up nice, and then I'll upgrade, and I'll upgrade. Are you kind of on that kind of a plan?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got two major issues with it, and then once when that gets fixed, it's honestly going to hopefully be a good turnover, and then I'll be able to get a better house.
So since you live there alone, and we're all going to creep around your house tonight, what do you do to keep yourself safe as a single woman living alone in a house by yourself? Like, how do you
I have
protect
a
yourself?
security system.
Security
Okay.
system. All right.
I do. I have a security system. Yes.
All right, and what's the code
it
to
lets
that?
me know when the doors are open and everything. So
You want to share your code real quick?
no, there's not even a door code. It's a regular lock. So
I
Okay,
gotcha.
you shouldn't have said that.
Because I know a guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, thanks for
it's a
sharing.
double lock. So.
It's a double lock. That'll keep you. Hey, thank you for sharing. Congratulations. What a huge purchase at 24. I hope things continue to go well, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, I actually purchased a brand new car and a house within a year of each other. So
Can I ask what you do for a living,
Yeah.
or are you just really thrifty?
No, I'm just really good with my money.
Okay, very good.
Really good.
It's a lost art. Well done. Congratulations. I appreciate you checking in this morning. I got time for one more real quick. Hey, Dylan, how you feeling?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, man. Which one do you fit?
With Kat.
Okay, so you are somebody who did not get good grades in high school. Now, why? Because you don't sound like you're a dummy.
I just never liked school.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you doing now? Because that was kind of the other part to that is like you did poorly in school, but are you successful now doing what you love?
I just work at Quick Trip right now, so
don't say I just work at Quick Trip. Like, you make my mornings better when I got to stop in there.
They have
like,
great
when somebody
benefits.
Smiles at me and they're like,
"That is true.
See you next time." I'm like, "You sure will, Dylan."
And I want you to keep an eye on that nitro cold press machine because it's finicky, and it's the worst feeling to go in there. My heart's set on it, and then it's like not working. So it's out of order, So
that's on you now, Dylan.
So just wonder, is she going to pop in today? Sometime today, is she going to be angry about it? Always have that in the back of your mind.
And Dylan, what's the real feeling when you see somebody like Kat wander in by herself, kind of aimlessly, and then she goes over, where you got the stuff on the rollers, like a tornado or an old hot dog that's been there for a couple of days, and then you see somebody just stand there and they contemplate their life and they look at it and they're like, you know what, to hell with it, I'm going for it. And then they get it, but then they sit at that little table by the window by themselves for like an hour just staring outside. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it honestly depends on the person. We've had people that'll sit there for like 4 or 5 hours.
No.
But
doing what?
It doesn't bother me too much.
They bring work. Maybe they're waiting for like a shuttle. There are a lot of. He's such a judgmental person. This is what I have to deal with every day.
Dylan, you're the same as me. You see somebody sitting at that window by themselves eating a 3-day-old hot dog, and you're like, "What the hell happened to your life?"
Sometimes you want to join them.
Yeah, and then you're like, and then right.
Can I pull up a stool? I want you to keep an eye on those hot dogs, by the way, because some of them look like a grandma, and you got to get them out of there.
At the same time, he's texting everyone, "Hey, it's Kat from the radio sitting here eating by herself again, staring out the window."
One time, leave me alone.
And then she gets up, she gets her, she decides, all right, I'm going to continue with life. And then there's Dylan. He's like, "See you next time." And she's like, "I'll save the spot." All right. Hey, thanks for checking in, man. I hope you have a great day today. The question on the table, though, this morning is the person you love the most, either your best friend or the love of your life, comes up to you. "You got to help me move this body." Are you doing it?
Like I said, it's situational. I don't know if I have.
There's no time for the backstory.
Best friends that
are you going to move the body if your husband comes to you and says, "We got to move this body"?
Knowing my husband, he wouldn't kill just to kill. So yeah, if I have to say a yes or no, I'll say yes for him.
I would do
Definitely
it.
a yes for Liam.
I would do it for most people, no questions asked. Probably somebody off the street. I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I can give you a hand."
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it for my sister only because like heavy chewing and breathing bothers her, So I'm sure she would probably end somebody just for doing something small like that. But
so you see your sister as killing for no real good reason, so you wouldn't help move the body. But your husband is more of a calculated killer, but you'd help him.
Yeah. I'm only answering this because it'll never happen to me yet.
You don't know that.
No, I don't.
You have no idea with the way your husband gets triggered that one day in the near future, he doesn't come to you sweaty, breathing deep and says, "God, will you help me move the body?"
Why does everyone have to breathe so deep?
Well, because you're panicked, right? Like something bad just happened. "You got to help me get rid of this body."
Yeah. No.
I'm probably in. I'm your guy. I could help you out. Finley, I'd like to go to the youth of today. Would you help?
Probably not.
But your best friend, your very best friend, the person you rely on most in this world, just came up to you and said, "Hey, I need your help. You got to move this body." You wouldn't do it?
No, well, then I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Finley, you don't need a backstory. You don't need to know what's going on. I feel like even best friends make bad mistakes and you don't want to get caught up in that. So I would need to make sure that it's something I stand for.
Yeah, well, I would just help them.
See, the youth of today are great helpers. Everybody dogs on these kids. They just sit on their phone.
They'll help you
They
hide
don't
a body.
care, but when the time comes that you need help the most, the youth of today are ready to stand up and help.
Nice kid.
Kudos, young man. So they were showing on TV. We always keep a news station on in the background here just to make sure, if something breaks that we can be on it. But this hurricane that's approaching Florida right now, their sunrise looks like doomsday this morning.
Well, what's the category set at? Do they have one.
I'm not sure, but they're like, it's the run. It's the Walmart, the Home Depot, the Costco runs.
Board
where
up the house.
People are just, it's not that they shouldn't, right? Like you have to prepare for the worst or something like this.
Yeah.
But if you lived on the coast, wouldn't you probably have a bunch of this stuff kind of already set aside so that you don't have to be part of this frenzy when everybody's going? Humberto.
And is Florida, did like most of the insurance places, this is North Carolina.
Yeah, and Florida. It's going to come right up the coast. Everybody's going to get hit pretty hard towards.
And so if you know anybody there, just
check in on them.
I guess there's really nothing you can do.
Well, I mean, you can offer them a place to stay if they can get on a plane. I mean, but I've never been in that situation where you had to leave everything behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just take what's really important with you along with your family and go, we'll come back. But like, insurance has got to be ridiculous to get. If you've got a place near the ocean, it's got to be ridiculous to just pay for insurance on that place.
And in a matter of days, we're going to get a lot of snow. We're going to get the cold weather. But those days, I want you to remind yourself, we just have mosquitoes. And that's really it. We don't have too much to complain about. That's how I feel. But you find so much.
Your
to
glass
complain
half
about all
full
the time.
stuff is exhausting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sam, tell us about this. Now, you're getting married, if I'm getting this right, probably next month, and you're kind of done with the planning already or not?
Well, mostly we thought we had everything kind of like laid out, but my brother has a kid, and he just kind of laid it out me this week. He should be your ring bearer. He's like, it'll be cute. Have my son take the ring up to the front. It's adorable. People do it all the time. And I was like, look, we've talked about this. My fiance and I don't want a ring bearer. We're not going for a lot of these traditional things that people do. And it's not personal. It's not about the kid, but we just don't want a ring bearer. And already he seemed pretty upset. My sister-in-law, clearly she's upset, but she's not admitting it. And it's becoming this whole thing.
So is it like the feel that they're taking it very personally, that you don't want their kid any part of your wedding, right?
Yeah, I'm like, bring the kid. He can come, but I don't want him involved in the service.
But just to make sure, you're not involving anyone else's kid, right?
No, there's no kids involved. There's no flower girl. There's no other children involved in the wedding whatsoever. And I'm not going to make an exception for him. And it's not anti-kid. It was just, we laid it out. It's a very modern wedding. It's a very cool wedding. And we're not going to have a bunch of kids running around because of tradition.
Sure.
So the best part of calling into our show is that you have an entire listening audience that has great opinions. So we're going to let you go. I want you to turn the radio up, and maybe the question could be, is it that big of a deal if you do incorporate him just to save yourself any drama that might come down the line? You know, because this could get brought up 10 years down the road at Christmas.
Right.
And that would not be fun.
Right.
So
yeah.
Is it worth it? Or you guys are getting married. This is your wedding. You could just say, this is how I want it, and they need to just go with it.
Yep. I'm looking forward to hear what people say.
Okay, so let's do this. Help them out a little bit. You're about to get married, and your brother all of a sudden says, no, hold up. Change your plans.
Yeah.
I need my kid to be the ring bearer.
I think a lot about what could happen. I'm a scenario girl, and I've had too many instances where people bring stuff up down the road, so that's where I have kind of conditioned my mind. What is the harm that could possibly come from letting a small child just walk the rings up? So I just want to know, like, what's the huge hesitancy with it?
Talked to Sam a couple of seconds ago. He's about a month away from getting married, and then he gets this dropped on him.
My brother has a kid, and he just kind of laid it out me this week. He should be your ring bearer.
Okay, now there's not going to be, originally the plan was no ring bearer, no flower girl, pretty modern, quick wedding.
Yeah.
And this is family. So do you give in to something like this? If this was your sister saying, my son should be your ring bearer, and you're like, we're not doing it, what would you say?
Listen, if it's my sister and I only have my nephew, and I know that maybe it's going to incite some type of feeling and it's not going to really do any harm to me, yes, incorporate him in for his 12 seconds of fame during my big day. It would not do anything to me. So,
Kathy, do you stand your ground here, or do you let the little kid in?
I stand my ground. It's not about the kids' day. It's about the bride and the groom.
Okay.
Even if he was a cute little kid and you knew your sister was so much drama that it was going to be a problem for the next 25 Christmases, you would hold your ground.
I actually got engaged 4 years ago, and we have been having issues with both sides of the family. So we set our wedding date on September 2nd for October 4th, and nobody knows except who we want there. So there is no issue.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, then cannot attend because I do not want what they want.
Yeah.
Then that's too bad. That's on them.
Listen, I get that maybe you have weird shifts within the family and you've had drama and stuff like that. There's no drama being talked about in this scenario. This is a guy who could easily incorporate his nephew and it wouldn't do any harm to the wedding at all.
Do you think it's also a little bit weird that a guy cares this much about a wedding?
Don't you think the wife told him,
Oh,
hey,
maybe you're
make sure you
right.
talk to your brother, get our son in the wedding.
But
in
you're
some
like,
way.
no, it ain't happening. This is your day, huh, Kathy?
In my opinion, if the bride and groom have both agreed that this is exactly what they want something modern, in the end, it's their day. It's not about who's in it or who gets to go. It's about what they want.
If we put you on hold right after this call and Kat's like, hey, I really want to be a bridesmaid, you're not going to let her?
Absolutely not. You can come later.
Okay, what's later? Like end of, like when the
After
pizza
the
comes out
service.
at the end?
Like 10:30 when all the beer is gone.
Yeah. Can't wait.
No, so it's like we can only have so many during the service, and then you can have more come after. So that's what we're doing.
So Kat's a leftover in your world.
That's fine.
So she can come after. She can come for
So
the
nice.
for the reception.
All right, that's kind of you.
Thanks,
I'll be
Kathy.
there.
Yeah, have a great morning. I appreciate you chiming in. It's Barb, everybody. How's Barb?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Your thoughts on this? You're letting that little kid into the ceremony?
No. Nope.
That's a big no. All right. And why?
No way. Because, that's my day. That's mine and my husband's day. Then you got to figure out, okay, if you have that kid in there, then later on, somebody else has kids. Well, can my kids do something with you? Can my kids do this?
How many
Because
times
this
are you
kid
getting
did that.
married? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, no. I just, that's mine and my husband's day.
Yeah.
Barb, if you had to do it all over again and you could only invite Kat or myself to your wedding based on what kind of fun we were going to offer throughout the day, who would it be?
I'd have to say neither.
You call
Hold
our
on.
show
Hold
constantly?
on. You
talk to us all the time and you wouldn't invite
love your
either
show.
of us?
I really do. I love your show.
But
you know what? You two make the show together.
Oh, she
not
doesn't want to have
just
to
one, not the
choose.
other.
Oh,
You got both you guys together make the show.
Boy, you took the high road there, Barb. On Tuesday's live show, we've got more tickets to see Rascal Flatts. That show's in January, but we'll give away tickets at 8:05. Also, 3 chances at free money high-low, 1 chance at $50,000. It's going to be a big day Tuesday, so enjoy the rest of the podcast, and we'll see you back for the live show starting at 6. If you had to pick out, and I know your mom's a teacher, so you don't want to say her, but who was your weirdest teacher?
Well, I never went to the school where my mom taught.
Ever once?
My younger brother did, but I never did. But I had Mrs. Price, and she was our 11th grade history teacher, but she was a crisscross applesauce. I'm like, I think you're in the wrong grade. I think you need to be maybe down in the elementary school. But she would never wear shoes. She would always walk around in socks or in the summer, or not summer, but like warmer springtime weather and fall weather. She would,
just a hippie?
I don't know, but she would sit on her chair, and she was a tiny woman, and like a normal butt would fill up an entire chair. She was tiny, but she would just sit up on there and just crisscross applesauce, and her feet would be out, and she'd have just like dark feet, because they were all dirty, walking around, and nobody ever said anything. Like it was not just like a rule in her class where like shoes optional. She would walk around the school, and nobody ever told her to put her shoes on, and she never put her shoes on. It was weird.
She was living that grounding lifestyle.
She did, I guess, but nobody ever said anything. So it was Mrs. Price. That was it.
I had 2 that stuck out big time. One, I had Mr. Brown in elementary school, and our elementary school was on a slab. It was 1 level. And this guy would, he'd tell us what to do in like 5th grade, 4th grade, whatever it was. And then he'd sit back in his chair, and he had windows on each side of his desk. And he would flip open the window, even in the middle of winter, and smoke a heater.
Oh.
Like just
Ain't nobody got time to excuse himself.
right. But he would always wear the same like bowling shirt, and brown pair of pants, which fit Mr. Brown very, very well, and.
Yeah.
And he'd look around to make sure everyone was doing theirs right. And you could tell he was just.
Could you imagine if kids today saw their teacher do that? Mr. Simpson would leave class and we would just watch him out by the portables smoking a cigarette while we were taking a test. I'm like, I can't imagine what my kid would say if he saw that. It was so weird.
It really didn't even. I mean, nobody buckled when this happened.
Yeah.
He would just sit there smoking in class. And then I had a teacher when I was in 6th grade. Her name was Mrs. Enertson. And this was when. You're not as old as I am, but when we were in elementary school, the Velcro shoes got really big. And this woman would literally have a meltdown every time she heard the Velcro. And once the kids found out about it, she'd have her door open, and kids from the other classes would be walking by, whether they were going to the bathroom or gym class or lunch or whatever, they would stop in front of her door to readjust their shoes.
What a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Why would she ever show her cards like that?
I mean, she would freak. It got to the point where it was so comical that they made it part of like our 6th grade talent show where they were some kind of a song. And then she comes in off stage and goes, Velcro shoes. It must have been like the 12 Days of Christmas or something. But it was crazy. Like she would be having the best day in the world. And one kid would adjust their Velcro shoes and it would put her on tilt for the rest of the day.
She probably had like a sensory issue. Like when she'd hear it, she just saw red.
I mean, it went from 0 to 100 now. And here was the thing, like most women teachers are 5'6" to 5'8" maybe. This woman was like 6'2". Like that's very, very big for an elementary school teacher, for a lady.
And it's bold to mess with that.
And she was like a big lady, not like big, like she was fat. She was just a tall, overwhelming lady. And when she'd yell at you for your Velcro shoes, it would hurt, but people started realizing that she would go, really freaked out about it. So I just wanted to spend a quick second as your kids are back in school for you to go down memory road. And will you call us just with a quick synopsis of your weirdest teacher? When you were an overthinker and now you look back to not being as bad as you were, did it mess up your life?
It did. Yeah, it would make me sick. I would spend so much time thinking about something that wasn't even a big deal. So right now, my job, I feel as a mom, is to make sure Liam knows nothing is ever as bad as you're making it out to be in your head. Truly, unless you murdered somebody. And then it's a big deal. So let's cross that bridge if we get there. But this ad, oh my God, it hit me so hard. This is a new Life 360 ad.
I saw it over the weekend and it made me stop. I was headed out in the background
so
and I'm like, what the hell is this?
You'll never know how much I love you. When you're gone, I just think of you dying.
Yep.
Mom, what? Every time you leave my sight when you drive to school or stay out at night, this is where I go. To the million ways inside my brain in which you could die at any given time. Woo! You could bleed out on the street or get stuck in a mine. You could get kidnapped by bandits. That would be perfectly fine. Some creep could harvest all your organs and then sell them online. There are a million ways inside my brain in which you could die at any given time.
Mom, you watch too much to cry.
Life 360.
So,
that is inside my head.
Good commercial from a marketing standpoint. Yes. Great commercial. But if your goal as a marketing team is to make me stop in my tracks and pay attention to what's going on, it worked brilliantly.
So good. And when I was watching it and I'm like, most of my life, I'm just going to worry about this kid. All the time.
That's what happens.
You can only hope that you're giving them the tools to make good decisions, but you never know what somebody else has planned. And like that's in my head. So when I saw this ad, I'm like, Derek.
Did you download it right away?
That is me. We have it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was just like, but that just goes to show that I'm an overthinker. My mom was chill there for about 7 years. And now she's back at overthinking stuff.
Because she got grandbabies.
Until we go to Mexico, and then she doesn't think about anything. So I need like Mexico Jen all the time to just chillax a little bit. But being an overthinker, that used to be my life. I want to know the last time you were an overthinker, and it just goes to show, don't overthink about something because it won't be that bad, you know?
I can't remember the last time I overthought something.
You can sit this one out.
I hit a wall about 12 years ago where I'm like, I don't care anymore.
We know.
And I can see how it could be debilitating. My wife is this way, especially with our kids. I'm sure they're good humans and they'll make the right choices, but you always kind of, you're a parent, right? So I get it. When was the last time you really got down that overthinking thing? And you might be waking up this morning thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job this week. Oh my parents are going to die, whatever the deal is. But when were you overthinking? The only thing that I think really helped me is when I was in college, I wasn't like bad about this, but when it came to athletics, I was. And we had a sports psychologist come in my sophomore year. And he did this big thing about what you can and can't control.
Yeah.
You cannot control the umpire's call. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control a bad hop. You cannot control this and this. And then he put it in all these little different bins, right? And I thought about it then, and I think it helped me a while. And then I had my kids had a hockey coach in their beginning who had the same kind of thing, right? And he's like, these are the things you can control. Live in your bin. Yeah. And it really kind of helps you separate that. But are you somebody who kind of considers yourself a classic overthinker? And you can give us an example. I'd love to bring you on the show next. David, hey, welcome to the show. As we're talking about classic overthinking. We were listening to that Life 360 commercial, and it got everybody wigged out. You're kind of this guy. You're a worrywart?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. And I was too. I had, ulcerative colitis. Some people saying, that could have just been something in your makeup. But I truly think the older I've gotten, the less I've been an overthinker about things. But I want you to pinpoint something. Like, is there something lately that you were an overthinker with and it didn't turn out as bad as you thought it was going to?
Okay, I gotta breathe for this one because get this. Okay. So my boss was kept walking past my desk, and all I could think of, I was like, "Yep, that's it. Today's my last day. I'm done. I'm done.
No!
I mean,
okay.
Why would they keep coming in?" I'm like, so I'm on my lunch break. I'm already filling out my LinkedIn, updating everything, touching up my resume.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
Then, yeah, and then so. Right after lunch, so it's almost immediately after updating my resume, I get called into the office. So now I'm already trying to sweat. I can't handle this drink. So I'm like, I don't know if you get so panicky, you get itchy. So I'm sitting there and I'm like I said, I was overthinking and I just like, just get it out, just fire me so I can go on.
Yeah.
And they gave me a raise.
Hey,
wow.
There it is.
That was pretty epic that you were building it up, that you were going to be fired, and it was completely the opposite turnout.
Yeah. I got a merit raise.